Hey, it's Ed again. I just wanted to finish up on my testimony, I guess my life story. Just to go over a little bit of review. I was on my second wife, and she decided she just couldn't take it anymore, I guess, and she left me. She took the truck, our only vehicle for me to get back and forth to work, and she took all the money out of our bank account and our food stamp card, which had about $200 on it. So she took $400 out of our bank, tried to close out the account, and then she took our $200 food stamp card. So she was doing pretty good. However, I was not doing pretty good because that $400 was supposed to be going to our rent, and once she had took it, I didn't have an ability to make any more of that money to bring it back so that I could take my check that I was going to get that week and put it towards our rent, and then have enough rent money to live there for another month. And so, but she didn't care. She wanted to go out and do it her way. She actually went on a vacation with her parents the week after she left me, which tells me why she took the $400 was because she needed spending money. So she was not a very good person. She was a very toxic person for me. All of my family members say that she just wasn't a very good mix with me. And now that I look back on it, I have to agree with them because she never worked. When she did have a job, she would constantly call in sick until her employers would fire her for that, and then she'd also do no-call, no-shows, and so her employers fired her. So, but not to talk about her, but to talk about me, I had to move into a house that had two bedrooms with a guy that was crazy. He smoked pot 24/7, and so he also dilled it. So there were people like that coming into the house every day. And one night I got up, I took my painkillers, went to bed, got up about 2 or 3 hours later, was in a lot of pain, so I took my painkillers again. And then the next morning I got up about 2 hours later, and I was feeling in such pain that I had to take 2 more painkillers. And so at this time I've got about 6 or 8 painkillers in my system, and I just my body couldn't take it anymore. And so when I got up, I was dizzy. I got my feet tangled up into some cords that were running across the ground in my bedroom, and I tripped and fell and hit my head on the table, and was in a coma for 3 days until my roommate decided to go in and found me laying on the floor. So he called the EMT workers, and they came out, couldn't find a pulse in me, but they gave me a drug called Narcan, which gave me a very shallow pulse, but it did give me a pulse. So they took me to the hospital, and I laid in the ICU for 6 days, 5 or 6 days. And the whole time my little sister kept yelling at me to wake up, to wake up, to wake up. And the doctors kept telling my mom and sister that there was no brain activity in my head at all, that they just needed to go ahead and pull the plug and let me go ahead and pass. And so, but my sister, she wouldn't stand for that, and she kept yelling at me and yelling at me, until one day I heard her voice yelling for me, and so I squeezed her hand, and we then be able to communicate back and forth by blinking my eyes or squeezing her hand. I couldn't talk to her because I had a tube down my mouth. So long story short, the doctors did eventually come in and see me making motions that were not what people in comas would do. So thankfully they brought me out of that coma, and I went to live with my mother. And I guess I had 2 more close calls in the next 3 or 4 years after that. And eventually I just got up one day and I said, I can't take this anymore. I can't keep doing this to my body. And with my mother's help, I was able to get off the hard painkillers. I still take painkillers, but it's like Tramadol or Tylenol with codeine, very mild painkillers. They don't really control my pain. I guess psychologically they help to notch an edge off of my pain. And then of course I'm on the Butrans patch, which is a long-term, long-acting pain patch, which I believe is a narcotic, but it's a good narcotic. It's a narcotic that won't let you overdose on other hardcore narcotics. So, sorry about that. My mouth was just getting really dry. So now that I've gotten off the painkillers, I'm wanting to fight for my life to come back. There are certain things that I want to be able to do. I want to live on my own again. I don't want to stay in a house where my mom has to always be concerned about me. And I want to be able to live on my own again. And I know with the Lord's help, I'll be able to live on my own again. But that in a nutshell was my testimony, my story. And I'm sure over the next months to come, as I work closer to my dreams, that I will be making more videos to let you guys know how I am doing on making those dreams happen. So, once again, it's Ed. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to me go on and on about my life. I know it could be considered boring, but hey, everybody's life is boring at a time, right? But it's my life. I lived it. My psychologist thinks it's good for me to make these videos so that if there are people out there that are hurting and happen to actually watch my video and can think, hey, this crazy fool Ed was able to get off drugs, why can't I get off drugs? And use me as an inspiration. I don't see how they could, but just as a little thought to help them to get off those pain drugs, those hard pain drugs that are causing them to make their mind cloudy and for them to not be able to make good decisions. That my testimony would be able to help them reach their goals, to get off their painkillers, and to learn how to just deal with the pain. I guess it's the only way I'm doing it, is learning how to deal with the pain. So I'm getting used to the 12 or 13 pain level scales a day. You know, I take nice hot showers. But I guess I will let you go. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.